Welcome to Horror Madness with Deb and Dana.
Tonight we are doing the OG Carrie 1976, directed by Brian De Palma, story by Stephen King. This is his first novel, his first movie adaptation, and it sets the fucking bar.
Yeah, it's wildly good.
This sets the bar for fucking movies.
Decades and decades of garbage movies that I love with all of my heart and soul. I spent so many years saying I hated Stephen King but loved his movies. But I'd never really read his novels, so I spent many, many years of my life. It was mostly audio, like Audible novels and stuff. And I have now, at this point in my life, read like a good solid third of everything he's ever written, which is like a whole goddamn ton of shit.
Yeah.
And I still like his movies better than his books, and everybody can hate me for all eternity for that. I think everyone adapting. Yeah, I think he would. I think he would absolutely. Also, everything I ever say is wrong. Never forget that. And this is for entertainment purposes only.
He loved this adaptation.
Well, how could he not? It's. He hates The Shining.
Which is one of the best movies ever.
Yeah, which is like your name is attached to like literally one of the top 3 movies ever made in the history of mankind, and you hate it. Like, that's on you, bro. But then we got Dreamcatcher. I don't think there's a Stephen King adaptation that I don't at least dig at the minimum.
So, 1976, OG Carrie, starring Sissy Spacek, phenomenal, William Catt. So, let me start this off. We got started a little too soon. We are doing a lead up to Carolina Fear Fest. Carolina Fear Fest is a great horror convention in Raleigh, North Carolina. We are official press now. So we will be there, and we are doing a lead up to Carolina Fear Fest where we are highlighting guests that are going to be there. And William Catt, who stars as Tommy Ross in Carrie, is going to be there.
If you're as old as me or older, you may know him as the greatest American hero, which as a child was one of my favorite TV shows ever. I don't think Deb knows anything about it.
I don't. I'm not going to lie.
Ooh, man, when I meet him, you can say what you want to say, and I'm going to talk about Greatest American Hero. Because, fuck me. Do you, know nothing about it at all?
I know nothing about Greatest American Hero.
So, Greatest American Hero, don't quote me on this, because I literally haven't watched it in 30 years. He finds a superhero costume in a garbage dump, I think.
Oh, I love that.
And he doesn't know what he's doing. So, he can fly and stuff, but, he doesn't know how to fly. So he has all these superpowers, but he has no clue how to be a person with superpowers or how to use the superpowers.
Oh, I kind of want to watch this.
Yeah, it's like a super early 80s comedy sitcom. It's like a sitcom, pretty much.
Oh, I feel like I would love to watch that. It
is so good. It is so great. It is everything you would ever want from a sitcom of a person accidentally becoming a superhero and not knowing how to be a superhero. And that's the point of it. And he's a great guy. And somebody a bus will skid off the road. He's like, I don't know. I know I have super strength, but I don't know how to use it. So I'm going to fly over there, but then he'll hit the back of the bus because he flew too fast.
Oh.
And then he'll use his strength too hard because he doesn't know what to do with it.
This sounds amazing. Okay,
yeah.
I have never seen The Greatest American Hero, but I'm
We're
gonna
have to
see.
find that.
William Cat next month at Carolina Fear
Yeah,
Fest.
that's his big jam.
If you are in the Carolinas,
if you're not,
you should check out Fear Fest. Seriously, it's in Raleigh. We have gone every year for the last 4 years.
I think our first Fear Fest was their second Fear Fest.
Our first Fear Fest was 2022.
Ish.
Yeah, ish.
I think it was the second Fear Fest was our first Fear Fest.
And
it could have been the third, but I think it was the second. I'm not 100% on that. Also, there's other conventions that we love with all of our heart and soul, but all of our best stories
are from Fear Fest.
All of our crazy, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening in my life right now stories are all from Fear Fest.
So our first press passes are, oh my God, Carolina Fear Fest.
Yeah,
so,
Fear Fest is an amazing place.
Yeah, it really is. And so stoked to go.
It's different than a lot of other conventions we go to, and it is...
It's phenomenal. All around phenomenal.
It's wildly good.
Back to Carrie. This movie is scored by Pino Donaggio, who also did Body Double and Raising Cain.
Good old Pino.
Good old Pino. And this movie starts with like a volleyball game. Yeah. Volleyball game. Goodness gracious, I can't speak.
That's not new.
That's not new at all. They're playing volleyball, and Sissy Spacek starts so strong. You can feel her uncertainty until she isn't well liked, and like she's missing the volleyball. I don't know. It's like the first scene, and you can feel the mood.
My first thought was it's no Top Gun. There's like not greased up dudes with no shirts on that are in the Air Force, which was very disappointing.
I mean,
and then she hits her in the head with her hat or whatever, the little asshole chick, and then
I hate the stupid baseball cat, but
yeah, I think that's one of the low points of this movie. I think this is one of the greatest horror films ever, like without question. There are several points that are just like, what the fuck were you doing? So, like, especially in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s were rife with, you make a horror movie with 4 dudes that look identical and 3 chicks that you cannot tell apart. And this movie didn't really, like, you could tell everyone apart. Like, if she wouldn't have been wearing the baseball hat, like, she doesn't just look 100% identical to every other character in the movie. It was just, like, unnecessary, but also it was the 70s. Maybe they watched a couple horror movies and were like, oh my God, there's like 3 dudes in this movie and I literally have no clue who is who. They all look exactly identical to each other.
Let's put Norma, and I remember her name though, so maybe it works.
Yeah, I guess.
So after the volleyball game, they go to the locker room scene for the credits.
Oh man, this is...
So never in high school...
Man.
I went to public high school. We didn't throw our clothes around like that or walk around so freely naked. I don't know why locker scenes are always like that. You've never been in a girl's locker room. We are all way too self-conscious to walk around with titties and bush flinging.
So that's my thing.
That never happened. You've never been in a girl's locker room. That never happened.
I'm almost surprised this isn't a video nasty. You know, the band movies in England and stuff, just because of the first, like, we're a minute and a half, we're like 90 seconds into this movie. There is more bush. If you added every bush I've ever seen in a movie in my entire lifetime, the first 120 seconds of Carrie has twice that amount of bush. In like 15 seconds than every movie I've ever seen that's not porn combined. I'm honestly shocked that it's allowed to be in there for a 70s movie.
Yeah.
The ratings, I don't know how they worked way back then. I don't even know if the MPAA and stuff, like, it fully existed and stuff yet. But, like, if I was an old man in a suit telling people what they can and can't have in their movie, I would be like, I don't know, man.
That's a lot of bush.
Feel like that's about 15 too many bushes.
I don't know. Maybe I got lucky. We didn't make fun of people for getting their periods. I was not popular by any means, but like I said, I was a little goth bitch in high school. Maybe they were scared I was gonna like put a spell on them or something. I don't know. But the teacher slapped the fuck out of Sissy Spacek.
Goodness gracious.
She slapped the fuck out of so many people in that movie.
3 people she slaps and she doesn't just like
tap them.
She slaps the fuck out of them. Like, that was wild as hell. Did that happen in the 70s?
I guess.
Was like the good, and she was the good teacher.
She was the nice
She was the hero of the movie.
Yeah,
she was
really
the best character in the movie.
And she just slapped
who was just like full force slapping the fuck out of everybody. Like, your eye might get fucking dislodged, and like you're going to the hospital. I don't give a shit. I'm slapping the fuck out of you.
When Carrie's in the principal's office and teacher's smoking the cigarette and there's the ashtray and she flings it, I kind of always wish I had Carrie powers.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
I mean, like, I just want to move shit with my mind.
Well, it's called telekinesis.
Which she learned from a library book.
Yeah. And it is very plainly explained to you like you're an idiot.
Yes, it is.
Also, it was like the 70s. I don't know. I think it was less important to explain it then than it is now.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I wasn't in high school in the 70s.
At this point, though, we get a view of Carrie's home life. Margaret White is awful.
Yeah, that's what America needs, is more religious psychos. That's what we're doing.
She locks Carrie in a closet because she got her period, and because she got her period, that means she sinned. She is uneducated and awful. And
She's back when America was great, remember? In the 70s.
So then it goes back to the school, and they get, I call it PT detention. It's just PE because it's high school, not the army.
Physical education, not physical training. Yeah.
It's just PT, though. Also, those bitches are out of shape as fuck.
But like they weren't out of shape at all. They were all super fit and super buff, and like it didn't really make sense that those.
That they couldn't do a single proper push-up.
Didn't quite make sense. I mean, all of those actresses could have done 200 push-ups.
Oh,
for
probably.
Sure,
so then Sue Snell asks her boyfriend, who is William Cat, Tommy Ross,
I thought Sue Snell was the mom.
No, that's her mom.
Yeah.
Is somebody else Snell. Sue Snell is the daughter.
Okay.
Asks her boyfriend, Tommy Ross, to take Carrie to prom. And it's weird. So, like, the teacher thinks something's up and is like, you shouldn't hurt Carrie White. But they were so genuine in it. And Sue and Tommy were both innocent in the whole plot. They were just trying to be nice.
Who?
Sue!
No.
Yes.
Sue's in on it with all the assholes.
No, she's not. No, Chris is. Sue is not. She tries to stop it and gets kicked out of prom.
But she knows what's happening.
No.
Oh. No, wait. What?
No, Sue does not know. And I looked this up because I wasn't sure.
Brown hair that...
Yeah, brown curly hair does not...
No, straight hair. The brown straight hair chick.
That's Chris.
Right.
Sue is the girlfriend of the guy that takes Carrie to prom.
Yeah, she's an asshole too.
No.
She's in on it.
No.
Well, we got different feelings about that.
I
think she
Googled
was
it.
friends with all of them.
She was friends, but she felt bad about making fun of Carrie and asked when she asked.
Still did it. There was a whole conspiracy.
No, she tried to stop the pig blood from happening. That's why she ran to the stage and the teacher drug her out kicking and screaming. The girl that lives at the end had nothing to do with the rest of the plot.
I disagree.
She did. I looked it up.
I don't care if you looked it up or not. I could not disagree more. I don't agree.
You guys, tell us what you think.
I've never not agreed with you about anything more. I think they both knew exactly everything that was going to happen.
No.
Like, if you are correct, there's nothing about this movie makes sense. If you are correct. Nothing that happens for 1 second in the entire movie makes sense.
I see and understand what you're saying, but I also feel like they were genuine.
No.
And she tried to stop it. And even brought flowers to her grave in her dream.
In her dream, there were red flowers with this whole stupid color thing that I'm not sure if it's even a real thing.
We need to look deeper into it.
I mean, I looked pretty deep. Like
I did too, and
I get
Sue Snell.
I get it, but like also like I don't know if that's a thing that was meant to be in this movie.
So Chris, the main antagonist, asked her boyfriend to do something. We looked at each other and said the same thing. The clearest lines in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Like, she's supposed to be
They're
like...
at the drive-in, and she's like, I hate Carrie White. Please do something for me. Talking
while her head's going up and down. And, like, clearly, she could not possibly be talking.
Yeah, no.
Also,
she got a...
hey, let's give the throwback. Apparently, John Travolta's first film he ever made,
Seriously, I totally forgot John Travolta was in this film.
Had no clue he was in this movie.
I've watched Carrie a lot of times and don't remember John Travolta in it. Also, you can kind of tell it's his first film. I don't love him in it.
Yeah.
I love him in Grease.
And then, like, I was also immediately like, wasn't Grease before this? Apparently, Grease wasn't before this.
Grease was in 79.
I didn't think Grease was his first movie, but I certainly also didn't think Carrie was his first movie.
I didn't even remember him being in Carrie.
Yeah.
So Tommy Ross asks Carrie to prom, and she says no. And the gym teacher thinks something is up and tries to talk him out of it.
So anyway, a new thing we haven't talked about yet.
Okay, so...
that we haven't talked about at all. Then they're going to to kill the pig.
Oh.
Guess what that pig place is called? The name of the place is the Bates Packing Company.
Oh, it's Bates Packing Company and Bates High School.
And Bates High School. And we've got the string... We've got the absolute ripoff of Psycho. The dude who did the soundtrack for Psycho was supposed to do the soundtrack for Carrie and died like a month or two before Carrie was made.
Yes.
So he left in the Psycho strings because, like, it wasn't, dude just died, like, right before he was supposed to score this movie. So he put a lot of Psycho nods and left the Psycho strings in because that dude was supposed to have done the soundtrack.
He was. So Carrie's talking to her mom, and she tells her mom she wants to go to prom. And she stands up for herself and says, I'm not like you, Mama. I'm funny, and I want to be normal. She said, go to your closet. And Carrie was like, no, I will not. I can move things with my mind.
Does she say that, or does she just do it?
She says it. She says, things are going to change, Mama. People can do this, and I can do it. And that's when she
says, sit down and shut up, and throws her mom down on the bed with her mind.
That's later.
Oh.
That's later. When she's first telling her she wants to go to prom.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, things are going to change, Mama.
Boy, do they.
Yeah, they do. And then everybody's getting ready for prom. Carrie goes into the drugstore and just is smearing those trial lipsticks all over her lips. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies because that is so fucking gross. The boys are trying on tuxedos, and he wears the t-shirt tuxedo, the beak. And then there's Chipmunk talking, and I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was
What the fuck? Is
at
that
first
supposed
I
to
thought,
be there?
I think it is. I think it's just a late 70s bad filming choice.
It's a horrible filming choice.
It is possibly the worst filming choice in a great movie I've ever seen. Where they just like speed up their conversation for like 45 seconds and it doesn't really make sense and doesn't need to happen. I think that was just a poor early filmmaking choice.
It was awful. So then Tommy shows up to pick up Carrie, and that YouTuber made me think about a lot of things. Blue is pure, red is evil.
Also, how many colors of cars were there in the 70s when this movie was made?
Also, like, everybody pure wore blue, and Sue wore blue, and her boyfriend wore blue, and showed up in a blue car. He was not wrong.
I'm not saying he was completely wrong, but like I also don't think that they spent as much time thinking about it as he spent.
Well, he showed up in a blue car.
He also said that just a regular 70s shower head was phallic. It was just like, yeah, sure, yeah,
I mean,
it is.
it was.
Also, it's just like what a shower head looked like back then. I think it was a little bit of a thing, but that's what I was saying earlier, and now we're repeating ourselves again with the whole, he kept saying that that green dress was blue, and it wasn't, it was green. I think it was a little bit of a thing, but I don't think it was as hardcore of a thing as he tried to make it be. Also, weirdly, one dude in the history of YouTube has done like 20 videos on Carrie. And then like
nobody else.
an Australian dude that we always end up watching every time we do a movie who like I don't dislike at all. Like he's alright. I like that guy. Don't know his name. Don't remember his name. And I've watched like 100 videos he's made. It's just like 20 videos from one dude who looks like a Culkin. And then the Australian dude who might be from New Zealand. If I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I don't know which one of those places he's from.
So
He's not a bad. Yeah, I like that guy though.
Tommy shows up to pick up Carrie, and Mama knows something's up, but she's awful, so she doesn't listen, and I wouldn't have either. She is horrible and monstrous, and I wouldn't listen to a word she says.
She's an American.
And then, as Carrie drives away, she says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." That is a moment.
You skipped a little bit past.
Her Carrie pushing her mom over with her mind.
Yeah, twice, and the second time was just a repeat of the first time.
Yeah.
They didn't bother to film again.
No, it was the same shot 2 times
But
in a row.
also, both of the biggest lines, the most historical lines from this movie, are within 10 seconds of each other about her dirty pillows, and they're all gonna laugh at you.
Yes, they're all going to laugh at you, which would be a great clip for a song.
Yeah, and so is your dirty pillows.
I missed your dirty pillows.
I know you did. You did. I thought you knew that was happening, but you were talking when it happened. No way, you were talking. Is that what we do? We just talk too much? Yeah.
No.
I could telekinesis people to sit down and shut up. There would be no power I would ever overuse more. If I could do an infinite amount of things, if I could just like be like, sit down and shut up.
I'm looking at you right now.
I'm not necessarily talking about you, just like anyone, anywhere. Like I would just like walk into McDonald's and be like, sit down and shut up. Love Among the Stars, the theme for the prom.
Yeah. Everyone's dancing and having a good time
So
at Love Under the Stars.
We're back to our big disagreement. The dance is so sweet. It is so heartfelt and wonderful.
It is.
Also, it made me car sick, and I'm not
there yet.
I was feeling fucking woozy, like Stu Mocker. It was like, holy shit, like I'm a bit sensitive to that. And like it was like 3 or 4 minutes of the camera just spinning in circles, and I was like, holy shit, like
honestly,
people complained about the Blair Witch making them throw up, and they watched Carrie.
It is a great tension building trick because everything going on is so sweet, but it's spinning. And it was a great way to build that uneasy feeling physically in the viewer. Like, physically.
Yeah, you literally feel sick because you're dizzy from them spinning for too long. And then, I think, immediately after that was my only slight on the movie. Like, I think this movie is incredible.
It is.
I think this is an absolutely, unbelievably amazing movie that's up there with, like, any movie, period. I think the downside was this scene right after that, where it's just like tension building for like 15 straight minutes, and it's just like, okay, we get it. Like, build tension. Like, tension needs to be built. Like, you need to build the... Oh my God, like, we're still just building tension? Like, Christ, the tension was built 5 minutes ago, and we're still just building more and more tension?
I'm getting fucking dizzy. Move on from this scene.
But I'm talking about after that. Like, that was, you're right, that was a good tension builder. It was 3 times longer than it needed to be. And then we've got 10 straight minutes of just tension building, and it's like... Man, I got it. Like,
oh, but Carrie's
Christ,
mom,
the tension has been built. Let's move on.
Carrie's mom chops that carrot so angrily.
It was bringing attention to the weapon that was going to be used later. I don't think it was supposed to be a phallic symbol. I don't think it was supposed to be anything. I don't think it was carrots. Like, everything vegetable shaped is phallic one way or the other.
Why
I don't think it was...
vegetables so phallic shaped?
I don't know. I didn't invent dick-shaped vegetables like that.
Eggplant?
Yes, like most vegetables.
Every
vegetable that isn't straight phallic could be a ball sack. Right, so that's why I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. It's
every vegetable is phallic
shaped. That's again not a phallic thing. Like every
that's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. They're bringing attention to the weapon that's going to be used later.
I agree.
There's nothing phallic about anything. Giger was phallic. Everything's just penises and vaginas. There's nothing that's not a penis or a vagina. I don't think there is a penis in this movie. There's just a bunch of bushes.
There's
a lot of bushes. But even that isn't very sexualized. It isn't.
No,
it isn't.
There is that.
It's just to show puberty and stuff.
The shower scene with Sissy Spacek at the beginning is a little sexualized, but I think it was just to show puberty because she was.
Yeah, it was a
literally about to get her period.
Puberty allegory.
Yes.
Is that the right word for that?
Yes.
Sure, it is now. And if it's not, fuck you, it is now. I just changed the dictionary.
So.
Was it a metaphor? Was it an allegory?
She is chopping at that carrot for no reason. But it's to draw attention to the weapon.
To the knife that she hides and stabs Carrie with later. It has nothing to do with penile
ballots
vegetables.
Are getting collected by the girl in the baseball hat. Who wears a baseball hat to prom? Norma. Yes, I only remember her because of her baseball hat.
Well, I don't think it would have mattered if she was wearing a baseball hat or not. Anyway, yeah, that's a digression there.
Ballots are getting collected by the girl who always wears the baseball hat. And surprise, surprise, they won prom queen and king. And for a brief moment, Carrie looks so happy. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I knew what was about to happen, but I found myself smiling with little tears in my eyes where, like, the music was heartwarming.
So I think that's what makes this a great movie. And I guess maybe it's Sissy Spacek. I'm not sure what's going on. This is a pretty damn short movie. It is exceptionally short for a movie of its kind.
An hour and 38 minutes.
Yeah, and like 8 minutes of that, like, is credits and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
so it's an hour and a half.
It's like a 90-minute movie. Like it's pretty short, and also don't feel like there's much character development in this movie at all. Like, even for Carrie, like, it's just Sissy Spacek, like, living her best life as an actress.
Acting like,
there is
ass off.
so little actual character development. There's, like, not really that much coherent plot. But at this part, you like feel for the characters so hard.
Yeah.
Like so hard. Like I feel like any other movie would have needed 15, 20 more minutes of character development on Carrie for you to even consider giving a crap whether she lived or died or anything that was happening to her. And like, you're just like at this point, like if you don't feel things at this point, like you're not human.
I felt for Sissy Spacek in her first scene. It is no wonder she was nominated for awards for this. Like,
Yeah, no, not at all.
she is phenomenal. Like,
Yeah, I think
top tier, top fucking tier.
she overacts a bit, but like I don't think she does at the same time. It's wild to see someone overact and then like finish the movie and be like, I don't know, did she overact? I don't know, she didn't. She like brought it. Like she was perfect.
She was.
I think if she wouldn't have been in this movie and somebody else would have been,
Oh, it wouldn't have mattered.
no one would have liked this movie. No one would have watched this movie. It wouldn't be. It would be.
Stephen King wouldn't be on the map. This is his first novel, his first movie adaptation. It's also like
I just think as a movie, like if Sissy Spacek wouldn't have been in this movie, I don't think that this movie would matter as much.
No. Sissy Spacek brings it. Everybody brings it, except this was John Travolta's first role.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
And
everybody.
I don't love him in it.
Everyone is a wildly good actor, like crazy, wildly good, except for John Travolta.
I do not love him in this movie. I don't like his accent. I don't like the way he is. I don't like anything about John Travolta in this movie.
He's
forgettable as fuck in this movie.
Yeah, which is why I forgot that he was in this movie. He's that
remember
forgettable.
he was in it.
He's kind of his character for Grease, if that character couldn't act. So I think this is one of my biggest takeaways during the 30 minutes of tension building.
So much tension building.
In the 70s, in the 90s, right now, if a bunch of high school students tried to rig that situation up, there is zero chance of that working.
No.
Putting a bucket on a rafter held by a piece of fabric that at the bottom is a rope, but it's not a rope higher up, it's a piece of fabric.
I don't know.
Which I wouldn't have noticed if tension wasn't built for 15 straight minutes.
So everybody notices the fabric falling. She's getting crowned prom queen, and the fabric falls. I don't know what the fabric's supposed to be. I know what the rope is, because then it goes to Sue watching her boyfriend get crowned prom queen, and she's so proud, and then she sees the rope and is like, holy shit, something's going on, and runs and tries to stop the whole thing from happening because Sue is not in on it.
Yes, she is.
And
so is the greatest American hero.
Then the gym teacher, he gets knocked the fuck out by the bucket.
He gets killed by a 1/10 of a pound aluminum bucket. If I drop this on your head, you're not going to knock out.
This is not an aluminum bucket. This is a plastic
I think
piece
it
of
weighs
lipstick.
the exact same amount as that aluminum bucket did.
Let me throw it at your head.
Throw it at my head. Do it. I'm dead. Anyway, I'm dead now. I am deceased.
You're not dead until the fire.
I'm deceased.
Sue notices the bucket, and the teacher notices the cloth and falling, and there's more buildup. And Sue tries to stop it, and Carrie notices what's going on, and then bam, pig blood.
We ain't even gotten to the pig. He dies after the pig blood.
Yeah, he dies in the fire.
That bucket doesn't fall for like another 2.5 minutes.
I gotta say, we went and saw Carrie the musical at a small theater here. I was a little scared that they weren't going to use like spattering blood and they were going to use glitter or something.
Yeah, we had a big conversation beforehand with some friends. Jeremy Reeves.
Hillary.
And Hillary, about what they would use because we didn't think that they would actually do blood. They fucking did blood.
They did blood.
They didn't skimp at all. They did probably
Shout
like
out
10
to
times.
Theater of the Republic in Conway, South Carolina.
They did 10 times more blood than's actually in the movie, probably.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was great. Theater of the Republic, amazing.
I've never been disappointed. I always go in with the lowest of expectations.
You do, and I don't know why
and
at this
leave
point.
going, well, I'll be damned. That was incredible.
We go once or twice a year to see plays at this place. We saw Carrie, the musical, Misery,
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. We were in the splatter zone for Evil Dead. Little Shop of
Shop
Horrors.
of Horrors. It's all been great. It's all been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
So when the pig blood hits, everything stops and the film falls silent except for the trickling of blood.
Oh, I never even got to mention the soundtrack. I always mention the soundtrack, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to say this is the most forgettable soundtrack I've ever heard in my life. It is weird funk music, and there are several, it's almost Benny Hill level. And there are several moments where it's like yakety sax almost. But like you don't even remember that because it's that not worth remembering. It's not good.
So when the movie stops and you hear the blood trickling, that's when the bucket hits Tommy in the head.
Fucking and that is the most greatest American hero moment of this movie. He's a bit like Jack Burton in Big Trouble in Little China. Where he's like, he's the hero, but he's not the hero.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the whole show's about.
And after it hits him, there's like a whirlwind of laughter. And like more spinning. So much spinning. And she's seeing things and hearing things that have been said to her. And then doors start slamming and lights are red and you can feel Carrie's rage.
That's part two. That's part two.
Yes,
which
the
should
rage.
have been called Carrie to Blood Boogaloo.
Blood Boogaloo.
But it wasn't called that. It was called Carrie to the Rage.
I think Carrie 1 is the rage. This is a real coming of rage movie.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there.
And the red light over everything lets you know what Carrie is feeling. And hoses are dousing everyone. And what appears to be water, but is probably gasoline because everything is just setting on fire.
Well, no,
it's water. It's the water with
water.
the electricity.
Which
I know.
like just doesn't quite make sense, but like
It is
whatever.
Total chaos. Lights are popping and sparking. We've all seen the scene.
Yeah, doors slam and everybody.
And let me tell you, the way Sissy widens her eyes and doesn't blink for the last 10 minutes of the movie, it's iconic.
I think my biggest takeaway from this movie that I think is just like indisputable, her walking out while the fires, it is the epitome of visually striking. It is
so beautiful.
Whatever you've ever done, anyone's ever done in a movie, and someone says it was visually striking, should just be held up to her walking out of the prom.
It is such a beautiful scene, from her walking down the stairs from the stage to walking out the door with her wide eyes covered in blood, the shadow. Yes,
that's
babe.
what visually striking is. That is what cinematography is.
It is. She is covered in blood, surrounded by fire, and then the doors slam. It's fucking, baby. You are right.
It is
like
one of the most beautiful scenes in any movie ever. Yeah,
like,
you just don't get better than that. You get equal to it, which is, you know, like Apocalypse Now, and like there's other movies that are equal to it. Even gigantic, hundreds of millions of dollars bigger movies don't have a better scene than that. Like that is peak.
It is one of my favorite scenes in horror movie history. You don't You don't get better than it.
Yeah,
You don't. You don't get better.
That's top. And then we got her almost getting run over and turning around at the last second and mind flipping the car over.
Oh, which is also beautiful.
Which was very cool, but like cars just don't blow up like that. But
no, and her eyes are still wide and she's not blinking as she walks down the street.
So I think, in my opinion, if I would have directed this movie, not written the book, but directed this movie, that car, when it flips over and it explodes, which I guess Carrie, like, I don't know, maybe had a hand in that, which, like, explains it. That car should have exploded, and then she should have walked away from that because then all the rest of the bad guys are dead. I think credit should have rolled. I hate mopping up in, like, almost every movie.
The last scenes are awful in this.
Out of thousands of movies I've seen in my life, and they, like, almost always have mopping up, and that's a thing. That's a thing in comic books and screenwriting and movies and TV shows. And, like, just quit it. Quit it.
Yeah.
I don't care how many dudes in suits in Hollywood say you have to mop shit up. Quit it. That should have been the end of the movie. She should have walked away from that car exploding. Credits should have rolled, and your imagination can let you imagine what the end of the movie is. You don't need your hand held that much.
I think had they ended the movie when she was walking out of the prom, it would have been way more impactful.
So I get what you're saying, but still the real villains of the film were still alive, and I don't think they could have ended it with the real villains getting away.
Yeah.
I think, that would have been a good ending if they would have died inside, but they didn't die inside, so I think that car should have flipped and exploded.
They get outside?
Credits roll. Instead, we get why the mom was chopping the carrot. I don't know.
Also, they could have just died inside. It never showed them get out. It never showed.
I guess they just weren't there. I don't know.
They were there. They pulled the cord on the pig blood. They should have died inside. It was a completely unnecessary scene.
This movie's great. Don't ruin it.
It is a great fucking movie. Also, when her mom hops out from behind the door and hugs her and then stabs her, and she pulls all the knives in the house towards her mom with her mind, and her mom gets pegged up in the crucifix.
You ain't pegging me up.
Her mom got...
Anyway, so when the mom is coming at her with the knife, and again we're spinning in circles, and it's like it is total.
So much spinning in circles.
It was total Ted Raimi, and it was total Evil Dead vibes. Her mom looks like in the original Evil Dead when the girlfriend is like doing ballet and stuff. Like if she would have just had like red on her cheeks. And, like, overdone makeup, carrying the knife with the camera, like, coming from down straight up into her face.
Yes.
Which, like, I don't know, maybe Sam stole that from this. Like, also kind of makes sense.
So you bring up Evil Dead. I'm going to bring up the newest Evil Dead movie. Sissy Spacek and the chick from Vikings have the same eyes.
The fuck does that have to do with Evil Dead?
She's in the newest Evil Dead movie that just
Who
came
is?
out. Alyssa Sutherland. Her and Sissy Spacek look strikingly similar. And
wow, I never thought about that, but yeah, yeah.
She would have made a good Carrie in like some kind of remake.
They look a whole lot alike, actually. I never thought about that till like this very second. They do look a hell of a lot alike. I thought of that earlier today
when I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't.
Alyssa Sutherland could have played Carrie.
So yeah, the rest of my notes are our argument.
No, I have a whole lot more notes. So, her mom gets pinned to the wall in the shape of a crucifix, nodding to her extreme religious beliefs. And that was a fair killing. I'm not mad at Carrie for killing her mom. That was fair. She was awful and abusive. And, tried to kill her.
There's the whole thing about the novel Boulders Rain Down.
Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't do it.
They tried really hard to film that.
I'm glad it didn't
And
work
then,
out.
like, Australian dude was all like, yeah, but, like, there's still boulders coming down, and, like, oops. And I was like, yeah, well, you don't know that if you didn't read the book, and, like, I think it looks perfectly fine.
Yeah, you don't.
It just looks like the house falling apart. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like boulders raining down at all. It just looks like the house falling apart, and I think it worked very well. And I thought it was really, I thought it was exactly what it should have been. Also, Jesus in the closet looks like a weird homeless hippie, and I've never seen a Jesus statue that even resembled that
her
anywhere
mom
else
made
ever.
him.
Out of what?
I don't know, but like that
It
whole
was the 70s.
end.
She didn't 3D print that shit.
So I think the whole end could have been cut.
So I got two finals. The trailer. People bitch about trailers nowadays. The trailer for this movie, the original trailer for this movie, there's no special features. They don't exist.
Literally,
There's
the only
literally
special feature
The only
was
things
the
that
trailer.
exist are 20 YouTube videos by a dude who looks like a Culkin and one from the Australian guy that we dig. Like, it gives you every... Like, you don't even need to watch the movie, like, at all. Like, literally,
it
the
gives you
trailer
everything.
is a condensed beginning to end with every plot point and everything that happens in the movie, period, in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, there's nothing. There's no reason
It
to
is
watch
the
this
whole
movie.
movie.
If you haven't, for some weird reason, you've made it this far, you haven't watched Carrie,
Just watch the
the
trailer.
original trailer, and you've seen the entire movie from beginning to end and need to know nothing else. A big last thing, Stephen King. I hated Stephen King most of my life. I got over my hating of Stephen King. I've always loved Stephen King movies. I used to hate Stephen King books.
Really?
I still think I could write a better book than Stephen King, but I haven't fucking done it, so I can go fuck myself. Like, straight up. Like, that's always been my Stephen King feeling. I think I could write anything he's ever written 20,000 times better than he wrote it. Also,
But you haven't done it.
I'm not Stephen King, and I'm not a fucking billionaire, so I can fucking go fuck myself on thinking that, and that's how it is. Also, Stephen King's first book ever is about women's puberty. The fuck? Also, I love Stephen King. I love his books. I just
Yeah,
think
shut
that,
your
like,
mouth.
I just think he could do a better job at his own books.
It's a great story. It is a great adaptation.
I love his adaptation movies more than I love his writing, and I do love his writing. I just think everything could be better. It could be way shorter, and everything could be better. Also, I can't deny the fact that he's the most famous writer that ever existed
For
on
a
the planet
reason.
Earth for a reason. I actually fucking loved reading Under the Dome. I thought
I
Under the
didn't
Dome
read
was
the book.
fucking
I watched the
incredible.
TV adaptation.
Which started out wonderful and
It did, and then
ended garbage and got
I-
canceled after they went into, like, this isn't in the book and it's just
Yeah.
like wild garbage that shouldn't be here. They canceled the show, which, like, fair. Also wanted to know what the fuck was going to happen. But
Yeah. I don't know. All in all, I fucking love Carrie. I feel like it's
great
like
movie.
a forgotten gem. It's so old that a lot of people forget about it. I think
I didn't believe that until we were trying to look up YouTube videos of it,
People-
and there aren't any.
people forget about Carrie.
No one's out
and-
there talking about Carrie, like, at all. Like,
And
I was shocked.
phenomenal. It is a great coming of rage film. I love women rage
I think
movies.
that's the tagline for part 2. isn't
It is. It
Yeah.
is. We've done a lot of. Redhead was women's rage. Carrie. Oh, am I on a women's rage kick right now?
So I think women's rage horror movies tend to be great. Like, I think that's
they
just
do,
like a pretty
and
standard.
fucking relevant for these times. So,
If I had prepared that, I think I could probably name 10 or 15
yeah,
coming of age rage.
Spring Breakers.
Yeah, like, there's so many. Yeah,
Spring Breakers is one
that weren't
Carrie. Redhead.
that weren't written by a unibrow nerd. I think Stephen King came into his looks, though. Don't get me wrong. I think later in life, He became a handsome, recognizable fella.
Joe Hill looks just like his dad, and
Oh yeah,
you can
wildly like
change
his
your
dad.
name, but like you can't change your fucking face,
You
dude.
fooled no one, Joe. Oh, let me outro so that we can
Oh
babble.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We love you, motherfuckers, and good night.
Love you. Good night.